One of the things that we're asked to do in grade 12 or grade 11, grade 10 math is graph linear equations. Now linear equations are the easiest of the equations that we can graph. Even though it might be easy, if you haven't done this before, we have to know a few things. So let's take a look. First thing we need to know is what is a linear equation. And of course, if you look at the word linear, you can see the word line. If we have a line, then that's a linear equation. This right here is not a linear equation. In fact, that one was a parabola or quadratic. Now we will almost always be working with two variables, x and y. So in this case we have 2x plus 3y equals 12. Now a solution is the pair of points, the ordered pair, which consists of an x and y value that satisfies the equation. With a line, we would have many possible solutions. So the ordered pair 3, 2 is a solution, since when you substitute 3 in for x and 2 in for y, it ends up making it a true statement. Here are some other possibilities. 0 and 4 would work. And if we test some other points, 6 and 0, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 0 is 0, and that equals 12 as well. So we get another point. And here's another one, when x equals -3, y equals 6. If you multiply this out, you'll get -6 plus 18 equals 12. Now one thing you should notice about these 4 points is they are all in the same line. Now you can see there'd be many other possibilities that could be solutions to this line. So how do we graph linear equations? Well, this one's set up nicely for us. It's already in the form of y equals 3x minus 2. Now we're going to do it by using a table of values this time. We can choose any values we want for x, but we might as well keep them small. So we substitute minus 2 in for x. 3 times minus 2 is -6, subtract 2 is -8. So that means when x equals -2, y equals 8. We can do that for all 5 of these x values, and we'll end up getting 5 ordered pairs, or 5 points. The easiest one always is 0. When x equals 0, we have 3 times 0 is 0, minus 2 is just minus 2. And there's 2 more. When x equals 1, 3 times 1 is 3, minus 2 is 1. And the last one is 2. 3 times 2 is 6, minus 2 would be 4. So now we can plot these points. -1 minus 5 is right here. 0 minus 2 is right here. 1, 1 should be here. 2, 4 should be up here. Now you notice I didn't graph the -2, -8. That would have been off of the graph that we have. Let's take a look at another one. In this question, it's not set up for us nicely already. notice that it's x minus 2y equals 8. So what we want to do is rewrite this so it's y equals. So to do that, the first thing we need to do is move the x to the other side. So we subtract x from both sides and then divide everything by negative 2. And that will give us y equals 1/2 x minus 4. Now we can make our chart again. And let's see what we got. Just substituting in values for x, we can get another set of points. Again, the easiest is when if we make x equal to 0. Because 1/2 of 0 is 0, minus 4 is negative 4. And we can plot all 5 of these points and we get our line like that. If you notice a pattern, 3 of these points are nice points because there's no decimals or fractions involved. I would have noticed, and you would have noticed this as well as you're doing it, I would have skipped the odd numbers. And I would have used a negative 2, a 0, a positive 2, a positive 4, a positive 6 as my x values. And that way I'd only be working with positive, or not positive values, but integer numbers. So there'd be no decimals or fractions involved. Sometimes we're only given an x or a y in our equation. That means that we're either vertical or horizontal. So when we graph x equals 3, that means our x value is always 3. And y could be anything. So that means we have a vertical line when it's x equals. When we have y equals, that means all of our y values have to be negative 2. So in this case, this is negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, negative 2 is my y value for all of these points here. My x value can change. It can be anything. And that is a horizontal line. So horizontal lines are y equals negative 2. And vertical lines are in the form of x equals. So again, this is a way of graphing using the table of values. I prefer using the other method, which is putting it into the slope y-intercept form, but sometimes you have to use more than one method. So this is a way of doing it using the mini table of values. Just practice and you'll understand this with no problem at all.